You've got about 60 seconds per question on the ASVAB Arithmetic Reasoning section. Miss these 5 problem types and you're leaving series points on the table. Welcome to the U.S. Military Test Prep channel by Study.com. My name is Aisha and I'm a test prep expert. Today we're breaking down 5 problems you'll see on the ASVAB Arithmetic Reasoning problems, or AR. I'm not going to just show you the problems, I'm going to walk you through exactly how to think about each one, show you where most people go wrong, and give you tips on the fastest way to get the right answer. By the end of this video, you'll have a repeatable process for each type so that when you see them on test day, they'll feel familiar. Before we dive in, a quick word on pacing. Whether you're taking the computerized CAT ASVAB or the traditional pen and paper version, you have roughly 1 minute per question. That's it. So if you get stuck, don't freeze. Flag it, move on, and come back. The worst thing you can do is burn 3 minutes on one problem and run out of time at the end. Now here's the good news. This section is not testing advanced math. There's no calculus, no trigonometry, no algebra with 12 variables. What it's testing is your ability to apply basic everyday math to real-world scenarios. We're talking about multi-step word problems, fractions, ratios and proportions, percentages and percent change, and rate, time, and distance. Master these 5 and you're covering the majority of what shows up on the AR section. So why does the arithmetic reasoning score actually matter? The AR section measures how well you can apply everyday math to practical, real-world problems, not just crunch numbers in a vacuum. Think about it. A soldier managing a supply budget, a medic calculating a medication dosage, a mechanic figuring out fuel consumption on a mission. They're all doing exactly this kind of math, just in uniform. And if you're targeting specific military roles, a strong AR score can be the difference between getting your top choice and being redirected. So let's make sure you're ready. Here are your 5 problems. Problem number 1 is multi-step word problems. These are the bread and butter of the AR section. You're not doing one calculation, you're doing a chain of them, and each step feeds into the next. So the first thing you want to do with any multi-step problem is resist the urge to jump straight to the answer choices. Build your numbers layer by layer. So we need to know how much the soldier's take-home pay is after taxes, and we can get that by getting their total or gross income, which is base pay plus allowance and special duty pay. Step 1. Find his gross income. His base is $3,200. His housing allowance is 15% of that base, so $3,200 times 0.15 equals $480. Add the $450 special duty pay, total gross income is $3,200 plus $480 plus $450. That's $4,130. Step 2, apply the tax. He pays 22% in taxes, which means he keeps 78%. So multiply $4,130 by 0.78. That equals $3,221.40. Now that we have the take-home pay, we know the answer is D. One mistake to avoid in this example is applying the tax rate only to the base pay and ignoring allowances. That gives you a number that's way off. Okay, so let's move on to problem 2, ratios and proportions. These show up constantly on the ASVAB, and they tend to trip people up when the ratio changes mid-problem. Here's one of those. Okay, this one needs algebra. Don't try to eyeball it. Set it up properly and it becomes straightforward. Let trucks equal 5x and jeeps equal 3x. That's the original 5:3 ratio. Now, 10 trucks are added, so trucks become 5x plus 10. The jeep count doesn't change, still 3x. The new ratio is 5:2, so we write 5x plus 10 over 3x equals 5 over 2. Cross multiply, 2 times the quantity 5x plus 10 equals 5 times 3x. That gives us 10x plus 20 equals 15x. Subtract 10x from both sides, 20 equals 5x, so x equals 4. Jeeps equals 3x. That's 3 times 4, 12 jeeps. The correct answer is A, 12. The classic mistake here is treating the ratio numbers as actual counts. There aren't just 5 trucks and 3 jeeps. Those are multipliers. Always use a variable. Got it? Let's take a look at problem 3 now, percentages and percent change. This is where a lot of test takers get burned by a classic trap of thinking percent changes add and subtract like regular numbers. They don't. Two parts to this one. Let's take them one at a time. First, inventory drops to 1,560. Then it goes up 25% from that new level. So 1,560 times 1.25 gives us 1,950 units. That eliminates choices B and C right away. Now we have A and D. Both say 1,950 units. The difference is the percent change. So which is it? Negative 18.75% or negative 22%. Here's a handy percent change formula. Final minus original divided by original times 100. That's 1,950 minus 2,400, which is negative 450 divided by 2,400. That's negative 0.1875. Multiply by 100, negative 18.75%. The answer is A, 1,950 units and negative 18.75%. Here's the trap. People think a 35% drop followed by a 25% rise nets out to a 10% drop overall. That's wrong. Percent changes compound. You have to calculate them step by step on the actual current value. Problem 4 is rate, time, and distance. The formula is simple. Distance equals rate times time. But what catches people off guard is when two objects are moving at the same time. Here's one of those. When two things move, always ask, same direction or opposite? That determines add or subtract. When two people move away from each other in opposite directions, their speeds add together. Think about it. Every hour, they're both covering distance, so the gap between them grows by the sum of their speeds. So combine their rates. 4 plus 6 equals 10 miles per hour. We want the time they hit the total distance of 35 miles. Let's fill in the formula. Time equals distance divided by rate. 35 divided by 10, that's 3.5 hours. The correct answer is B, 3.5 hours. Okay, with that done, we're on the home stretch now. Problem 5 is fractions and mixed numbers. On the surface, these look easy, but they slow people down when fractions have different denominators. The key is converting them to actual amounts before doing any math. My approach is convert fractions to real gallon amounts first. Don't subtract fractions and then multiply. Do it in the right order and the math is clean. Before the mission, let's get 5/8 of 48 first. Divide 48 by 8, then multiply by 5, which gives us 30 gallons. We'll do the same thing for the fuel quantity after the mission, which is 1/3. Fuel used, 30 minus 16 equals 14 gallons. The answer is B, 14 gallons. What trips people up is trying to subtract the fractions first, 5/8 minus 1/3, which requires finding a common denominator. And that's where the arithmetic errors sneak in. Convert to real amounts first, it's faster and cleaner. So let's bring it all home. 5 problem types, 5 rules to lock in before test day. For multi-step word problems, build your totals layer by layer first. Don't apply any rate or percentage until you have the full number. Next, ratios and proportions. Always use a variable. The numbers in a ratio are multipliers, not actual counts. Third, percentages and percent change. Calculate on the current value at each step. They don't just add and subtract like regular numbers. On to rate, time, and distance. Two objects moving apart, add the speeds, that's it. Lastly, fractions and mixed numbers. Convert to real amounts first, then do your math. It's faster and cleaner every single time. Head over to study.com for their ASVAB test prep. You'll get a personalized study plan built around your weak spots, plus a full bank of realistic practice problems with detailed answer explanations so you know exactly where your thinking went wrong. The more you get comfortable doing these kinds of word problems, the less the ASVAB feels like a test, and the more it feels like math you already know how to do. That's the goal. Put in the reps and you'll be ready. And if this helped you out, hit that like button. It genuinely helps more people find this video when they need it the most. Subscribe so you don't miss the next one. We've got more ASVAB breakdowns coming. Stay sharp, and I'll see you in the next video.